Yes, lady with the multicolored hair.
Oh, so your experiences in space, how have they changed the way that you relate to your just fellow people, like people having responses from people all over the earth? And that's kind of tied into your Twitter question, but even more so just being familiar with the whole face of the earth and where you are thinking about how things are maybe on the other side, and just this expansive perception that you have that so many of us haven't had the chance to experience.
How did the space flight affect my perception of the world and my sense of what's going on all around it on the other side simultaneously with here? This will be the last question. When you first get to space, you look for things that are familiar, right? You look for where you've been, and you actually drag other astronauts over to the window and go, hey, look, that's Poughkeepsie. I was in Poughkeepsie once. It's right there. I recognize it. That's Poughkeepsie. Or that's Gibraltar. Hey, I once went to Gibraltar, you know, and you drag people over to look at it. And then after about a week of that, you stop dragging people to the window to see things that you've done, and instead you just start to see the world. And after about a month, which I really only experienced on my last flight, the world starts just showing itself to you. And you come around and, you know, you go from winter to summer in 45 minutes, because you go from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. And seasons are changing, and water patterns are changing, and the big wind and weather patterns are changing. And every time you come around, it's different. And you start to get to know some places, and then new places reveal themselves in the glint of the sun. And so you really start to, it's like this enormous, beautiful piece of art that is slowly showing you its secrets. And so you develop almost a relationship, and you get to the window just to see what the earth is going to show you now. And what you notice also is the repeated pattern of human habitation all around the world. You know, a town that looks familiar to you looks just like a town in a country you don't even know the name of that country. And you can't help but go, well, if Sacramento looks like this from space, well, suddenly I see this country in Africa that I don't even know the name of the city, and it looks just like Sacramento. There's the downtown core around some water and a river, and then the spread out, and then the suburbs, and then the farms and the roads and the train tracks. I know people in Sacramento. I've spoken at schools there. I know what it's like. And so when you see that repeated again and again and again around the world, it gives you a unavoidable sense of collectivity, of shared experience, of oneness. And after a couple months up there, in my tweets, unconsciously, I just started referring to everybody as us. And I lost my sense of them. It's just us. This is just where a bunch of us live. This is where 6 million of us are living and are trying to raise our kids. And so that's how I now think about the whole world. And I did my absolute best through all the technology on board to try and share that feeling with everybody. And it's I wish everybody could get up there and maybe get a little of that feeling. We'd treat each other better. Okay, I'm going to set up to sign books now.